Yeah, we're ready. All right, everyone, looks like we are live. Welcome to the Forest County Multi-Purpose Center here in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, the site of today's American Arena League matchup between the Carolina Predators and the hometown Mississippi Raiders. Took us just over 8.5 hours to get down here. It was certainly a long trip. I know a lot of the Predators have been down here since yesterday evening. We left at 5:30 this morning, drove just about nonstop down here to Hattiesburg. Got down at around 2 p.m. local time, so we made reasonable time given that it was about just under a 600-mile trip, but we have made it after a very lengthy wait between games as well. Predators kicked off week 1 with a loss against the Tampa Bay Tornadoes. They were slated to play the Reading Raptors last week. That game got canceled when the Raptors dropped out of the league. So this will be the first game for the Predators in more than a month. I want to take a moment to remind YouTube's copyright holders that the Carolina Predators do not own the rights to any music that may be heard during this broadcast. No copyright infringement is intended. And we are just about ready to roll here in the Multi-Purpose Center, and that kick dangerously close to nabbing Uno right from the get-go. I don't think he got it. It looked like it went a little off to the right-hand side. But I tell you, that is a good way to start things off for Tristan Reynolds. I mean, you can't get much closer than that. Reynolds did have, I know, at least one successful Uno in that loss Mississippi had against San Antonio, I believe, 2 weeks ago. But more on that loss in probably a few moments. Until then, the Carolina Predators are going to take the field. I believe Mississippi won the toss and then deferred. So Carolina is going to start this out. The offensive line, of course, the primary story coming into this one. I mean, it is absolutely paramount that those guys do a better job of protecting Ricky than they did against Tampa Bay. And we're going to start it off with a little swing out to McClurn. He is stopped by number 33, Alex Jensen. Short gain of play, second down for the Predators. So that's going to bring up, they'll call it 2nd down and 7. That is a play we saw a lot in the Predators' first season. Not so much last week, just those quick screens from McClurn. And this pass up for grabs and intercepted. And now we got a face mask after the fact. Man, I tell you, that was something I was seeing in warm-ups. It has been not so much a problem last year, but this year especially, when Ricky has missed on those passes, he misses high every single time. He does not miss low, and especially on those ones over the middle, you would definitely rather miss low. I mean, that is just off the mark, intended for Mike Lee Sr. Really had to climb the ladder to grab that one. Could not bring it in. And instead of what probably would have been a gain of about 10 yards, is going to go down as a 1st down for the Raiders right off the bat. And after that face mask, Mississippi is going to take over on the Predators' 10-yard line. So Carolina backed up already. This is going to go down as a 1st and goal, actually, for Mississippi. Tylan Shaw, the quarterback for the Raiders, good to see he's okay. Got hurt last week and did not finish that game against San Antonio. And are you kidding me? You know, I have a sneaking suspicion that Donald Jones there might not have watched all the film, because that is the exact same play that Mississippi started their game off against San Antonio with. Just a fade down the right side to that outside receiver in the corner of the end zone. I mean, as easy a touchdown as they will come across probably this entire season. I mean, that is the exact same thing that they opened up the game with San Antonio with. Shaw overthrew that one and it was incomplete. They went back to it a couple of drives later and did score. But I mean, just like that. on a play that has already happened several times over this year. Mississippi goes up 7 to nothing, early. So Tristan Reynolds going to have another chance to notch an uno. That being just any kickoff in which the ball goes through the uprights on the opposing side of the field. A lot easier said than done. Those uprights are only about 9 feet wide, and I think Mississippi's might actually be a little bit thinner than that. We shall see, but as it stands now, Mississippi up early, 7-0 after the Predators. They had 2 plays. Just that quick screen out to McLaurin, and this one is good. Got the uno. All right, so we'll see if the Predators can have some better luck this time around. That is Ricky McKinney's Ricky McKinney's 5th interception of the season, thrown, I believe, 2 touchdowns. He's had a rickety start to the 2021 campaign after an absolutely fantastic performance over the course of 2020 and that regular season against the Georgia Line Alliance, Carolina Cowboys, and Southern Steam. He looked phenomenal, but since then has just really not been himself. We'll see if he can get everything together here. Ball is spotted at the 5-yard line after a successful uno attempt. So here's McKinney from the 5 trying to go over to McLaurin, and we had a miscommunication. Not sure if McKinney led him too far downfield or if McLaurin cut that route off earlier than McKinney thought he was. Probably a combination of both. Going to bring up 2nd down and 10. Probably lucky that one wasn't intercepted either. Definitely had Alex Jackson Anderson there, number 33 for the Raiders, in the area. 2nd down and 10 for the Preds. McKinney back to pass once more, looking deep, wants his man, and overthrows that one by about 5 yards. Mike Lee, the intended receiver. Going to bring up 3rd down and 10, but that is how you throw those passes down the sideline. You know, your guy gets it or nobody gets it. So good on Ricky to make sure he doesn't put Lee in a situation where he could get that one picked off. We do have some laundry back at the line of scrimmage, though. They wave it off. So 3rd down and 10 coming up now for the Predators. We did see them practicing a little bit of option in warm-ups, not a ton. Jamaica Marcus was the running back when they were getting those reps in. Right now it looks like, can't quite tell who they've got in at running back. I think that might be Jamaica. Not 100% sure though. And yeah, that is Jamaica Marcus. Started his career with the Predators out as a situational defensive back and receiver. Has since gone to running back duties, but he's in full pass protection mode now. Brandon Ford at the very top of the screen, set to go into motion. Trips to the top of the screen, that'll be Ricky's right, and now under some serious heat, has to take off, makes one man miss and gets about 5 yards and stumbles to the 10. And yeah, McKinney lost a shoe there. He does not tie his shoelaces. That'll bring up 4th down and 5 for the Preds. I imagine they're going to go for this. Kicker Daniel Sheriff did have some nice field goals in warm-ups, but the time elapsed from the long snap to the hold and all that was way too much. If they try a field goal, it's going to get blocked even on PATs. So, I mean, go for this or just run the risk of getting a field goal, blocked. So 4th down, they call this 4th down and 4 for the Preds. And McKinney handles the snap, goes for McLaurin. Did he catch that? No. And the Predators turn it over on downs. So the Raiders going to have another 1st down and 10 after a 4 and out from the Predators. 3 incomplete passes and a 6-yard rush from Ricky McKinney, the story on that drive. All right, so the Raiders are going to take over from the 11 this time around. And they're going to start with trips to the right-hand side. Going to be interesting to see if they go to that fade again. I don't know. I mean, it worked last time around, so I wouldn't be terribly surprised if they tried it again, but it would technically be running 2 plays in a row. And trying to go for a screen here. That one was well read there by the Predators defense. Looks like Donald Jones, the man who got burned on that last touchdown, making up some ground there and makes the tackle right at the line of scrimmage, I believe. So that's going to bring up 2nd down and 10. The Donald Jones redemption arc starts now, I suppose, with a good start to it. Though it did look like the Predators were in some kind of maybe cover 3 or a goal line zone look there. They flexed one DB out off to the other side of the field when the Raiders looped that receiver around. They were leveraging pretty hard to the inside, and that's usually a signal of zone. Got a cover 2-ish look here, but this is usually man. And we will see. Shaw got all day going over the middle and incomplete. Pass intended for number 22. That was Jordan Gandy. Going to bring up 3rd down and 10 for the Raiders. Pass was there. Or the avenue was there, I should say. Pass was a little late and a little too far out from Tylan Shaw. And we got whistles. Clock is stopped at 8:53 to go in the first. I think the Raiders took a timeout. We apologize for any issues we may be having with the stream's bandwidth, dropped frames, delays, anything of that sort. We have tried everything just about. We've lowered the video settings as much as we can get away with, lowered the audio settings. I mean, we've done everything we can. We are running this off of Frankie Littlejohn's phone hotspot. Nobody, I mean nobody, has service in this arena. It is, I mean, deserted out here in Hattiesburg. It is flat, and there is not a lot. I mean, it looks a lot like how you'd picture Kansas almost. It is flat, just a lot of trees. Yeah, we have not seen a single Ethernet line. It is almost a trip back in time coming down here. Beautiful place, but the cell reception, lackluster to say the least. Frankie is the only guy that even had reception in here. He's got Sprint. We are running this off of his phone hotspot, but hotspots are notoriously inconsistent. And the Raiders offense a bit inconsistent on this drive. Tried to run that one up the middle with Jude St. Julian, a former teammate of Frankie Littlejohn. Got stuffed on that one, and looks like the Raiders are actually going to kick this. They do have a good kicker, and I mean, you know, got that turnover early, so I could see this being something they go for, though the difference between an 8-point lead and an 11-point lead is really not that big. And field goals especially just not that common in arena football, though Reynolds has shown the capacity to make these, so we'll see how it goes. 4th down and 10 from the 11. Raiders set to kick. And Reynolds puts that one up, and it cleared the net. I think that's good. No, they say off to the right. So the Predators defense holds there, and Carolina's going to get it back on the 11. So I guess no harm, no foul there after the turnover on downs. Or they're actually going to bring this out to the 20 because he missed the kick. Forgot that was a rule. All right, so 1st down and 10 for the Preds from the 20-yard line. Ricky McKinney, again, has had a rough start to the season. Just trying to get the jitters shaken out, I suppose, but especially last year and the year before as well, he always had that second quarterback to lean on in case things got too rough and tumble. Season 1, it was Mark Littlejohn. Season 2, it was Josh Ross. Though McKinney tonight, the only quarterback on the roster, Josh Ross, unavailable, could not make it down, I believe, from Tennessee to Mississippi. It was going to be quite a long drive. So should McKinney get hurt or feel that he needs to come out of the game, and that is not going to help. offensive line was a huge concern going into this game. They tried about every possible configuration in that game against Tampa. Nothing worked with any sort of consistency, and the offensive line has shown struggles again already. Going to be something to keep an eye on, because I mean that was really what got Ricky rattled in that last game, was just the lack of protection up front, knowing that he was going to have to take off. And Carolina is going to take a timeout here. But as I was mentioning earlier, you know, when things got too tough and the pressure was getting to Ricky, he'd take a couple of drives off, put the second quarterback in there. It was Mark Littlejohn in 2019, Josh Ross in 2020. Though Littlejohn, we have not heard from him in about 2 years actually, and Ross could not make the drive down from Tennessee to Mississippi. Probably would have been about 12 hours for a 3-hour game, so I can't really blame him for not being able to make the trip. But that means the backup quarterback tonight is going to be Mike Lee Sr. or Kevin McClurn, both receivers for the Predators. Cedric Proctor is usually the emergency quarterback, but Proctor also unable to make it. Several players had car issues coming down. Again, it's a 560-mile trip from Spartanburg to Hattiesburg. We got run off the road on our way down here by a semi-hauler back in Georgia. Jamaica Marcus got T-boned at an intersection, has a huge dent in the side of his car. A lot of attrition just getting down here, and a lot of attrition on the field as well for the Predators. 6:25 and counting to go in the first. McKinney going to hand this one off to Jamaica Marcus, and Marcus finds the outside but runs out of room around the 18-yard line. It'll go as a gain of about 3 and bring up 3rd down and 11, it looks like. We'll wait on the official measurement. And they're going to call it 3rd down and 12, so that is a gain of 4 for Jamaica Marcus on just a little halfback sweep to the outside. Now we'll see what the Preds opt to do here. In the past, when they've gotten into these 3rd and longs, they've wanted to go for it all, you know, deep curls, post, something like that. And they're not really ones to, you know, dink and dunk underneath and try to set up 4th down to medium or something like that. And so while it may be tempting to roll with your tendencies and try and go for something longer here, you got to factor in, I mean, can the offensive line hold up that long? There's only one way to find out. 3rd down and 12 from the 18-yard line, and got an offsides penalty, it looks like, against the Raiders. They blow this one dead. McClurn was the only receiver that even took off, and that avenue was pretty closed off. We'll see who this goes against, and the Predators are actually marching it back. Looked to me like the Raiders jumped first, but they are going to call this against Carolina. So 3rd down and 12 turns into 3rd down and 17. Now you really got to start getting creative. It did look like Carolina was going to try to go deep on that last play. Not sure if they're going to change the play call here. But again, 3rd and 17. Mississippi actually not playing that loose. Got a sort of cover 2-ish look. Now they're kind of backing out of it a little bit. So we'll see if the Preds try to go underneath here. Nope, never mind. Got another flag, and McKinney wasn't going to have time to throw it anyway. That offensive line just completely broke down again. Pressure coming in from the left-hand side. The whistles do blow that play dead. And didn't quite see the signal from the official there, but it looks like we got a false start against Carolina. Illegal shift. One of the motion men might have jumped off sides. No, motion man offside is 10 yards, so I really don't know. It could have been the running back maybe swinging out early. Not quite sure, but it's going to be a 5-yard penalty. So after all that, it's going to be 3rd down and 22 for the Predators. Ball is on the 8-yard line. They need to make it to the Mississippi 20. Expect a shot here. I would not be surprised at all if Mississippi gives them, I mean, at least 8 yards of cushion. They might play up to the line a little bit, kind of give the illusion that they're pressing, but on film, especially in that San Antonio game, they are just not a handsy team on the defensive front. They are just not apt to try press coverage. They certainly got the size to do it, I would imagine, but they never really tried it. And it does look like they're giving at least 7 yards of cushion here. We'll see if they back up anymore. And BT Sanders kind of cheating up a little bit. So in a faux cover 2 look, I would not be surprised if they drop out of that, because especially given how many posts the Preds like to run, cover 2 is pretty volatile. And McKinney dodges one man, dodges another, and now takes off, and close to the original line of scrimmage. Makes it out to the Carolina 16, so it'll go down as a gain of 8. 4th down and 14 coming up for the Preds. They need this one. Well, man, I tell you what, I can't really think of anything to say because there just are not a lot of plays in anybody's playbook for 4th down and 14 from your own 16-yard line. I mean, you just got to find something that mostly Ricky's comfortable with running, but something that's not going to put too much pressure on that offensive line. And protection breaks down again. McKinney slings it deep and incomplete. That one intended for Mike Lee Sr. Might have been just a try at an arm point there. And the Predators turn it over again. Yeah, I mean, Lee was open for a split second. Sanders did a really good job of closing the distance there, though. I mean, I can't be totally sure whether or not that was, you know, an intentional, let's go out and get this first down with the post to Mike Lee, or if they were just trying to, you know, arm punt it, try and get Mississippi to pick it off right at the goal line and play field position a little bit. So ball is at the 16, Mississippi up 8-0 with a chance to extend their lead. 3:25 to go in the first quarter. In a pistol look, I believe that's actually an illegal formation, but I'll have to double check the rule book. I think they've changed up a lot of rules and allowed for more formational creativity on both offense and defense. Pitch out to St. Julian goes for about 5 yards. Going to wait on the official signal, but it's going to bring up 2nd down and medium for the Raiders. But yeah, I'll have to double check the AAL rule book because either they've made several rule changes that allow for, you know, teams to just be more lenient with the formations. You know, used to you couldn't have anybody further than 5 yards back in the offensive box, couldn't stunt defensive ends, anything like that. But either those rules have changed or the referees just aren't calling it. One of those two. Could be a little bit of both. 2nd down and 4 for the Raiders. And Shaw back to pass, and right on the goal line, Curl was caught there by number 22. That's Jordan Gandy. If he'd extended that route, I mean, just a yard further, we might be looking at a touchdown. But as it stands, 1st down and goal for the Raiders. Ball is on the 1.5-yard line, and while it does look like they're going to go in the shotgun, I tell you what, they only did it once, but a quarterback sneak from under center here would work very well given Shaw's size. And that should have been a false start there on St. Julian. And instead going to be a read option keeper for Shaw. The Predators did a good job of reading that one. Might have fallen forward for half a yard depending on where they spot this. Yeah, I think he got a few inches, but nothing more. Shaw listed at 6'4", 230. I think he might be a bit bigger on both accounts there. Several of these Raiders players, the DB core in particular, they've got some serious measurables. Very, very tall players, especially again in the defensive backfield. You usually do not see a crew of defensive backs that are all over 6 feet tall. That is pretty rare. And now Shaw looking for a slant in the middle of the end zone. That one intended, I believe, for Jerani Hilton, but we've got flags. And the referee is going to take a moment to get this one sorted out. Not sure who this one's on. And it's going against the Preds. And I think they're saying repeat, 2nd down and goal. So we'll keep it at 2nd and goal. Not really a costly penalty there. Again, half the distance of the goal. I mean, you're working from the 18-inch line instead of the 1-yard line. Not a ton lost there. Though, again, a bit surprised that the Raiders aren't really trying a quarterback sneak here. Shaw still in the shotgun. And we are going to repeat second down. So second and goal, got a bunch set to the right, and Shaw going to keep this one. Nice play design, and Shaw able to fall into the end zone. Touchdown, Raiders. I thought that was odd when I saw it. You usually do not see bunt sets that close to the offensive line, and they were just using them as blockers there. Just a wall of pads almost. Just, you know, quarterback sweep to the right-hand side. Tell Shaw is lower to just lower his shoulder and hope for the best. Don't get much simpler than that, and it's enough for the Raiders to notch their second touchdown of the game. I do not believe they've had a single possession that has actually started in their own territory. Carolina has struggled to get out of their own way at this point. And the extra point attempt there from Reynolds is good, so the Raiders take a 15-0 lead against the Predators with 11 seconds to go in the first quarter. Again, 11 seconds to go in quarter number one. The Predators in, unfortunately, familiar territory at this point. Again, I want to take a moment to remind YouTube's copyright holders that the Carolina Predators nor the Mississippi Raiders, neither of those teams own any of the rights to any of the music that may be heard during this broadcast. No copyright infringement is intended. And the kick is off from Reynolds, narrowly misses the Uno there. YouTube kind of gave us an audio error there for a second. It's still showing it, but I'm being told that the audio is okay, so I'm really not sure what that's about. And that is going to bring an end to the first quarter. Clock ran a little bit after that kickoff. So, going to switch sides of the field, though, really not by much, only moving from 120 to the other. So the Predators going to be moving to the right from now on. We'll see if that direction gives them any more luck. They could certainly use it. Down 15-0 at the end of the first 15 minutes. First down and 10. Oh, maybe make it first down and 15. We've got whistles. Or, no, the chains were not set. Yeah, one of them fell over. I think not even one of the markers, one of the chain gang men fell over. Looks like he's okay, though. So, all right, now I think we're ready to roll. First down and 10 for the Predators, getting ready to send, I believe that is to Corey Burkett in motion, and Burkett's taken off, looking deep and intercepted. Man, that was just a really good play there by BT Sanders. Not the best throw there by McKinney either. Did not lead Burkett, I wouldn't say far enough downfield. Did a good job of leading him over toward the outside of the wall, but that ball just did not have enough hang time on it, and BT Sanders able to nab his second interception of the game. That's McKinney's second one tossed tonight, and again, usually in these scenarios, we'd see the second quarterback come in, be it Mark Littlejohn, Josh Ross, or whoever, but Mark Littlejohn has not been available for 2 seasons now. Josh Ross could not make the trip. Cedric Proctor, usually the emergency quarterback for the Predators, could not make the trip. So, I mean, should something go wrong, or should Ricky, say, hey man, I really need to get out of this game, the backup quarterback is Mike Lee Sr., who did not even take any reps in warm-ups. So, I mean, unless they're going to go Wildcat, Ricky's going to have to find a way to shake those picks off and stick this one out. But so far, his touchdown-interception ratio on the year is 2-6. Tylan Shaw, on the other hand, has looked pretty sharp for the Raiders. Got to change the ticker. It is the second quarter now, and Shaw looked deep and then went short. A little touchdown to check down progression, but didn't get either of them going. Pass intended for, man, I tell you what, I cannot make sense of the numbers on those Raiders jerseys. Gray jerseys with silver numbers, and it is about as legible as you would expect. I really cannot tell much. Intended for one of the receivers, going to bring up second down and 10. Shaw a little behind on that throw. So this is the first possession of the game, actually, that has begun in Mississippi territory. And, oh, nice tackle made there by Sean Sanders. And that is something we saw on film as well. There is not really that much of an intermediate passing game for the Raiders. It is usually, you know, shots straight down the field or hitches and screens. There's not a lot of over the middle in between sort of stuff. And it does appear that the Predators have made a conscious effort to shut down that short passing game. That's two screens now that have just been completely blown up, and it does look like we have an injured Raider, one of the linemen, I believe. Hopefully he's okay, getting the trainers out there. Going to be third down and 10 when we come back. We'll check that second and 10. All right, and he is up. Might have just gotten the wind knocked out of him or something. Looks like he's okay. Third down, and they're going to call us third down and 8 for the Raiders. So they were actually able to gain 2 yards on that screen, though still credit where credit is due. The Predators did do a good job of making sure the Raiders weren't able to break into the open field on that one. 2 passes to the right for Shaw on this drive. And now got a complete shift. And that motion is not legal. Now this is legal. And looking deep, C.J. Thomas was the closest man to it. Miscommunication there between Shaw and his receiver. That was intended for Destin Porter. And looked like Porter zigged when he should have zagged. That one, I mean, it looked, Shaw threw a corner and Porter ran a post. That's all you really got to know. Preds catching a break there, going to bring up fourth down and 8. Now, last time Mississippi was in this scenario, they attempted a field goal, though it does not look like Reynolds is on the field. And nope, here he comes. Yeah, given the struggles that the Predators offense has had, I mean, there really isn't a ton to be lost here if they were to go for this and not get it, but this is the safe decision, just kicking this one away. Because, I mean, again, Reynolds, he hit some pretty long ones in warm-ups. Now, this is definitely going to be on the upper end of his range, especially given that he can't get a big run-up like he was on the kickoffs. But, I mean, at the very least, he can get this downfield into territory where the Predators are going to have to catch it, and they'll be playing field position a little bit. And the Raiders actually only had 7 guys on the field. Here comes number 8 now. That is Carl McFarland, and to bolster the offensive line of the Raiders. And, the Predators are substituting a man, Frankie Littlejohn, exiting the game. He's replaced by number 52. That's Carlos Emerson. Fourth down and 8 with a very long field goal attempt pending. Donald Jones and C.J. Thomas back to return for the Preds. Should this one come up short, we will see exactly where it lands here in a moment. 12:05 to go and counting in the second quarter. Mississippi up 15-0, trying to extend the lead to, nope, it'll still be 2 possessions technically with Unos, but all but a 3-possession lead if they get this. And that one is partially blocked and going to be fielded by C.J. Thomas. No blockers in front of him, and tries to cut to the outside, but that one's not going much further. Mississippi did a really good job of getting downfield on that one. Thomas is tackled around the Mississippi 17, so the Preds going to have a pretty long way to go, but nice job by the Raiders to flip the field there. First down. Oh, no, we got a flag back at the line of scrimmage. That's been something of a recurring theme. And, oh, that's not a good sign. Route defensive coordinator Donnie Bird is freaking out, so this might be coming back. Oh, he is mad. Oh, he is mad. Yeah, the offense is already huddled up over there, and they're going to have to go back. I think they're going to re-kick this one for a 5-yard penalty. Not sure what it was, but it looks like 4th and 8 is going to be 4th and 3. The ball is spotted on the 13-yard line. And they're going to call this 4th and 4, it looks like. And yeah, Carolina kind of took a little bit to get back on the field. I thought it was a missed field goal for sure, but I don't know, might have been offsides on the Preds or something. I really don't know. And man, they are still trying to get this one sorted out. I mean, I wasn't paying attention to the line, so I can't really attest to what was called and what wasn't called. But I mean, all I saw was that it got blocked. Yeah, partially blocked. I mean, not blocked, just kind of tipped up. Thomas fielded it around the 10, got out to the 17. Stoppage. I don't think anybody except the officials actually knows what happened here, and they can't figure out how to word it. We are still going. Now, I have no idea what's happening. Now Mississippi's making a substitution. So maybe that's what that's about. Like, maybe Coach Bird is upset because they kicked it the first time and he's saying that they should have to kick it again. But I mean, that's not a rule. That's my only guess, but it does look like that the offense, is going to stay out here. Tylan Shaw back on the field for the Raiders. I mean, this is definitely much more manageable territory. And again, I mean, the Predators' offense has not really shown the capacity to capitalize on field position like this. So should you turn it over, your defense is still in reasonably good hands. It's not like you turned it over on the 1-yard line or something like that. 4th down and 4 coming up for the Raiders. Look for something short here. Probably not going to try to get too fancy on this one. And I think he wanted to go for the hitch, but his receiver didn't turn around fast enough. Shaw just floats that one downfield and overthrows his man by about 3 yards. I mean, that one, they had the hitch, absolutely. That was, Dontrell Sanford was open, and he just did not turn around in time. And I mean, that is something you do have to look out for with these new arena teams. A lot of these guys just have not played inside before, and you know, their outside hitch is a lot different from an inside hitch where it's like 5 yards, 3 steps, whoever comes first, and then you absolutely have to turn around no matter what, or the quarterback is not going to be able to get you the ball on time. So just a little miscommunication there. I mean, Sanford was open. He just didn't turn around. So what could have been a pretty easy first down there for the Raiders is going to turn into 1st and 10 for the Predators. Ball is on the Mississippi 13. Really the best field position Carolina's had all game. Let's see if they can capitalize. To Corey Burkett back in motion. Or about to be in motion. There he goes. And McKinney handles the snap. And, just waited too long on that one. Did not pull the trigger. I think he was looking for Burkett. Just did not throw it for one reason or another. I didn't see anything. I got to start paying more attention to the receivers because, I mean, when the play was over, it looked like Burkett was open. I'm not sure why Ricky hitched on that one, but I'm sure the tape will tell all in that regard. Until then, though, going to go down as a loss of 7. 2nd down and 17 coming up for the Preds. Ball is on the 20-yard line now. They need to get it all the way down to the 3. .9:48 and counting to go here in the second quarter. McKinney back to pass, looking quick over to McLaurin, threw that one too far to the outside. Pass is incomplete, and once again, the soft spot underneath the coverage was there, first for Mississippi and now for Carolina, and neither quarterback able to capitalize on the lax coverage from the opposition. Going to bring up 3rd down and 17. And once again, the Predators find themselves in a very familiar situation. It feels like they were just almost in this exact spot a few minutes ago when they got a 3rd down and 12. Eventually backed that one up all the way to 3rd and 22 and just kind of had to play it by ear from there. We'll see if they can learn from experience and try and get something done. I mean, again, that coverage from Mississippi has been pretty lax. The curls are open. McKinney's just got to hit them. 3rd and 17. Brandon Ford in motion. McKinney looking for McLaurin on the outside, and McLaurin, pass was low. Took a little bit to get a handle on it, and he got hammered right at the line of scrimmage, it looks like. Going to bring up 4th down and 17 for the Preds. And we'll see what they dial up here. Looks like, I don't know, kicker Daniel Sheriff is coming on to the, or no, check that. That's Mike Lee. So looks like Carolina is going to stay out on the field for this one. Daniel Sheriffs, again, I mean, he had some nice looking field goals in warm-ups, but the long snaps just really hang in the air. Carolina has yet to really get that down. So if they do kick this, they would be running a serious risk of getting it blocked. And, you know, turning it over on the opponent's 20 is probably the lesser of 2 evils compared to potentially getting a field goal blocked and run back. Though the Predators have to be careful to avoid any sort of costly turnovers here. 8:29 on the clock here in the second. Definitely a low percentage down to begin with. So any kind of pick six or scoop and score does not help their case in the slightest. And 4th down and 17. There's a signal for the clock to begin. 8:25 and counting. Quick motion from Burkett. He's looking for the fade on the outside. McKinney rolls and throws to no one in particular. Mike Lee, I think, was trying to say that he got held, but that's not going to hold up in court. McKinney just short hopped that one. Didn't quite get his feet set. And I mean, even though he rolled out, that is probably one of the cleanest playing areas he's had all game. The offensive line has had a rough go of it so far for the Predators, and the offense as a whole continues to struggle. 1st down and 10 for the Raiders coming up. So don't quote me on this, but I think the Predators might actually be in the red for total yardage. I would imagine total yardage for both sides actually probably on the lower side of the spectrum. Mississippi has really not moved the ball that well when they've been on their side of the field. Their 2 touchdowns came from possessions that started deep in Carolina territory, and Mississippi going to start the drive out with a 1st and 10 pass to the slot receiver. That is number 21, Destin Porter, able to pick up the 1st down. So keep it at 1st and 10. Ball's going to move to the other 20-yard line. Mississippi now in Carolina territory as we approach the halfway mark of the 2nd quarter. The Raiders looking to extend their 15-point lead here. They've had 2 field goal attempts. Neither of those have worked. Or actually, you know, technically 1. Then they had 1 get called back. Went for it on 4th down, didn't get it. 1st down and 10. Ball is on the Carolina 20 and still moving some receivers around. Here we go. Shaw back to pass. Got a clean pocket. Looking deep, and that is caught for a touchdown. Jordan Gandy able to bring that one in. And once again, the Raiders able to get in behind the Predators defense. That is uncharacteristic. We didn't even see that really as an issue in the Tampa game. Most of the guys running nice routes, kind of going to the side of deep coverage on the side, deep coverage in the middle of the field, excuse me. But here, just the players getting behind the defense has been a major, major issue. Check that, it's not kickoff, this is the PAT. Reynolds back out there again, 21-0 in favor of the Raiders. Here's the kick and fumbled snap, just trying to make something happen here. That is number 4, Severius McCormick, and just throws to nobody. So a lot of excitement, but nothing actually happens. Kickoff looming, with the Predators staring down an even bigger deficit, 21-0 in return. Oh, and check that, we have got another flag, and this one must be against the Predators because Coach Bird is livid. I didn't even see what they threw it for. I mean, I guess if it ran that long, you could have had like a block in the back or something. I don't know. I mean, at this point, I think we're far enough into the second quarter to just kind of accept that this is going to be one of those games that the refs get every second out of. Probably going to see a lot of laundry on both sides from here on out. And I mean, I appreciate them kind of extending the game because again, it was an 8.5-hour drive down here, so everybody's certainly getting their money's worth time-wise. Though the Raiders will get a second chance at this PAT. They've moved the ball up to the 1.5-yard line. And is Shaw out there? I can't tell. I don't think he is. No, but they are going to go for 2. This is their Wildcat quarterback, Cam Myers, who saw extended action in the loss to San Antonio when Shaw went down with an injury halfway through the second quarter. He's going to line up in the pistol. Definitely expect something on the ground here, and just a little speed option. Shaw, or check that, Myers cuts to the inside, and he's got the 2-point conversion. And the Predators not able to stop him, but certainly not for lack of trying there. There's just a really solid run there by Myers. Lowered that shoulder and did not back off. Went right to the goal line, drove himself in, and make it 23-0 in favor of the Raiders. So the flag cost Carolina even more points. 5:19 to go in the second. And it looks like Coach Bird is going to have a conversation with the officials. I think Grant Dooley might have been trying to talk him out of it, but Coach Bird is a very difficult man to persuade. He is, he's just very passionate about what he believes in. Especially with referees. If he feels like referees have kind of short-hopped him on something, he's going to let him know. He's gotten in trouble for that a lot over the years. And he is still letting him have it. 5:19 to go in the second. Carolina down 23-0. And again, I can't fault Bird for trying to go to the refs here. At this point, they can use any break they can get. Though everybody else, it looks like, is ready to get the kickoff underway. Mississippi's already lined up. We can't get the ready for play until the referees get back in position. And I don't know, in that regard, this might be functioning as an impromptu timeout, because all the players are getting a rest and Bird's out there holding the officials up, but actually hasn't used a timeout, so I don't know. They may charge him for that, I don't know. But all right, so here's the kickoff. Looks like we're ready to roll now. Reynolds going to attempt to notch his second uno of the game and get it to 24-0 in favor of the Raiders. Mississippi already 2 points away, I believe, from tying the franchise record for points in a game. I think they lost that San Antonio game 48-25, something like that. It might have been 48-23, not sure. But certainly well on their way to setting a new franchise record for points scored in a single game here. And we are ready to roll now. Ricky McKinney and Corey Burkett back to return this kick. And this one is up, hits the flag, and that counts as an overhead obstruction, so blow it dead. Ball is going to come out to the 20-yard line. Yep, Any ball that hits any kind of overhead obstruction on a kickoff is automatically dead, comes out to the 20-yard line. So Carolina will take over from there. We'll see if they can get anything done. First down and 10, 30 yards to go to pay dirt. And looks like we've got a pretty big shuffling around of the receiving core here. We've got number 21, who I think I'm reading that jersey number wrong, but Mike Lee in on the outside. That's number 20, Gary Fuller. And Fuller making the most of his first reception of the game, able to get about 8 yards on that hitch. And yeah, that is a kind of, not so much a formation, but an alignment we've not seen much of from the Preds this year. And going no huddle here, probably the same play. Second down and 2, and McKinney rolls out and did not get enough air under that one. Had a man open, I believe that was Mike Lee. And once again, a pass comes up short. We're going to bring up third down and 2. But yeah, I mean, for all of the Tampa game, that they stuck with pretty much the exact same receiver rotation. Brandon Ford was in at X, Mike Lee at Y, and then Kevin McLaurin at Z. And they kind of started out with that same look too, but now Mike Lee is in at Z. They've got Fuller in at X and Burkett in at Y. So kind of shaking it up here. And McKinney takes off and lowers his shoulder, able to pick up the first down. That is the first one of the game for Carolina, coming with less than 5 minutes to go in the second quarter. The official count is 3:45. Carolina once again moving fast. Ball is on the 10, so looks like they're going to call this first and goal for the Predators. Yep, first down and goal, and now they huddle up. Burkett still in the slot, Lee and Fuller on the outside for the Preds. Mississippi looks to be tightening up their coverage a little bit, and they're going to run this up the middle with Jamaica Marcus, and he gets a couple of yards, nothing crazy. Maybe able to pick up round 2. We'll see where exactly they spot it. Going to be second and goal regardless, and yeah, gain of 2 yards. Ball comes out to the 8-yard line for the Preds. And now we've got whistles. They blow that one dead. Did someone call a timeout? Oh no, that might be an equipment violation on Grant Dooley. They're pointing him out. And they're still trying to get this figured out. Again, not sure what the stoppage is for. Oh, yeah, that's what it was. So they're saying to move the chains away. I guess, I don't know, a safety hazard. Maybe they're expecting a pick 6. If they got a crystal ball or something down there, that would be quite interesting. Second down and goal. McKinney back to pass, and I think that one was intended for Burkett and just a little too far to the outside there. Going to bring up third down and goal. Would not have scored, but definitely would have gotten them closer. Kind of looked like they might have been running space in there, not entirely sure, but McKinney almost split the difference there between Lee and Burkett, threw it right between them and just in the no man's land. Third down to go from the 8 coming up for the Predators. They really need a touchdown here. Burkett going to go in motion, and McKinney just throws a quick smoke route out to Fuller, and that one is going nowhere. Fuller able to make it back to the line of scrimmage and gets nothing more. Going to bring up fourth down and goal from the 8. Or no, they say he lost a yard, so make it fourth down and 9. The Preds are going to stay on the field. And Burkett going to double check on the route with McKinney. For a split second during the pre-snap on that third and goal, it looked like the right corner of the end zone might have been open. It's going to be interesting to see if Ricky tries to go there again. And Ricky gets hit as he throws, and that one goes out of the back of the end zone and incomplete. Just no time for the offensive line. And the shutout continues for the Raiders. 23-0 with 1:46 to go. And the Raiders are set to receive the second half kickoff. So if they play their cards right here, they can score 2 touchdowns before the Predators even see the ball again. See how exactly they play this, though. Again, I do not I believe there's a ton of arena experience on this roster. A lot of rookies from the local Mississippi football scene. So we'll see if they kind of take a more conscious approach to the looming 1-minute warning, or if they just kind of go wild here. All right, and we're back. First down and 10 for the Raiders. Ball is on the 9-yard line after the Predators turn it over for, I think that was the 4th time this game. And now going to send that slot receiver in motion. Shaw back to pass, finds a hitch on the outside, and Donald Jones totally whiffs on the tackle. And what should have been a gain of 5 yards turns into a gain of about 25. Mississippi able to get all the way out past the Carolina 20. Down to the 19-yard line. First down and 10. It's going to go down as a gain of, I believe, 30 yards. Yep, gain of 32, I think, and we got whistles. Yep, there's the 1-minute warning. So we've hit, well, they stopped it at 59 seconds. That play went dead. So, here's what I was referencing earlier. The clock is going to start stopping now after every incomplete pass or every time Mississippi loses yardage. So if they go backwards, they try to run it, they get tackled behind the line of scrimmage, that's going to stop the clock, and any incomplete passes are going to stop the clock. And if the receiver goes out of bounds, drops the ball over the wall after he's caught it, that's going to stop the clock as well. Now, given that they've got the lead and are on the 19-yard line, they've been able to pretty much score on command anyway. I don't know that the clock stoppage factor is going to be a huge thing for them. Their main goal right now is just to score with as little time left as possible, just to make sure that the Predators don't get another crack at it. Because, you know, ideally here, you score as the clock hits triple zeros, go up around 29-0, then come out, score on the first possession of the second half, and just like that, you're up about 35-0 before the Predators can even see the ball again. Though again, just about every time I have outlined one of those scenarios on a stream, it has not happened. Something has gone wrong on one side or another. So we'll see. First down and 10 for the Raiders. Ball is on the Carolina 19. And the clock is actually rolling here. And Mississippi, I imagine, in no hurry here. Shaw going across the middle, and yeah, Carolina, that's a smart move there, letting them score. I mean, a touchdown there with 44 seconds on the clock is a little bit better than stopping them on the 5-yard line and giving Mississippi a chance to run off more time, because at the very least, you give yourself a chance to respond to that touchdown. Now, is it likely? I mean, 44 seconds, even in arena, that's, you're going to have to play your time and your plays very, very smartly. You want to get downfield in that little amount of time, especially given the offensive struggles the Predators have had. It's not impossible, and a touchdown there, given that Mississippi was going to go down around the 3, technically not the worst case scenario. But not a very good scenario, nevertheless. PAT is good, so Mississippi goes up 30-0. Kickoff looming, 41 seconds on the clock. They actually ran it during the PAT. Never seen that before. So we'll be back in a moment. Now, actually, yeah, one thing I did forget to mention, and I don't think Mississippi's tried it yet this year, but at least in the AFL and NAL, this is usually about the time where teams start going for onside kicks. Tampa Bay got Carolina, I think, twice with it last week. I know they got them on the first play from scrimmage, started out their season with an onside kick, did the Tornadoes. Carolina was not prepared, so honestly at this point, I mean, the kick return game hasn't been too good anyway. Hasn't been much of a kick return game because Reynolds has been kicking Unos out of the back of the end zone anyway, so nothing's been returnable. I'm going to get 6 guys up there, play it safe, but it looks like Carolina's going to try and set up the return here. We've actually got 3 return men ready, or nope, now one's cheating back up, but still only Oh, they are asking to get an onside kick put on him here. 3 men on the 10-yard line. So we'll see what Mississippi draws up. And there's the whistle. So here we go. And I'm honestly a little surprised that they kicked that one deep. Especially given that front from the Predators, I think they would have had at least a good chance of nabbing that onside kick, but playing it safe, going to make the Predators travel the length of the field to put any sort of points on the board, and with 41 seconds left and an offensive line that is really having a rough go of it so far. It's not the worst move in the world. It's first down and 10 coming up for the Predators. Ball's going to come out to the Carolina 20. Let's see what offensive coordinator Sean Wood has drawn up for the Preds as they trot back out onto the field. There's the whistle, going to break the huddle here. And McKinney taking time to make sure all of his ducks are in a row. I don't see a play clock here, so I guess they're keeping it on the field, but I don't know, that could be something to keep an eye on because they took quite a while in the huddle there. Here we go. Corey Burkett going to be the motion receiver. Brandon Ford back in the game now at the top of your screen. McKinney back to throw, and probably lucky that that one got blown dead. The offensive line just imploded on that one. So Ricky McKinney is able to avoid the hit, but Fred's probably going to be marching this one backwards. Yep, false start called against Carolina. That'll be first down and 15. And now we've got more whistles. The clock was run. Yeah. Good catch there by the Predators. The clock actually ran while that penalty was being enforced. It's down to 28 seconds now. They need to get it back to 41. Yep, and they've got it. All right, first down and 15. The Preds looking for their first points of the game. McKinney under some serious heat, tries to make one man miss and still on his feet and taken down after a gain of 4 yards. That clock is going to keep rolling, and Coach Wood has called for him to hurry, but the Predators not showing a ton of urgency. And Coach Wood trying to get the play into him. At this rate, this is probably going to be the last play of the first half. And no, I think we got a timeout called by Mississippi. That's the right thing to do on their end. Oh no, Carolina called it. So 12 seconds to go. It'll be third down coming up, so we'll probably see one more play after this, assuming this goes incomplete. If McKinney gets sacked, then we're definitely heading into halftime. Because if the team that's behind loses yardage, it's all fair, it's all fun and games. If the team that is ahead loses yardage, that's when the clock stops inside the last minute of each half. So here we go, probably the last or second to last play of the game, barring something crazy or a quick incompletion, I suppose. McKinney takes a 5-step drop, just slings this one downfield, and it falls incomplete. Intended for Burkett, but McKinney really didn't have time to get his feet set on that one. Didn't have enough heat on it, and it's going to bring up third down and 12. Clock is stopped at 6 seconds, so yeah, probably at least closing in on the final play of the first half. Third down and 12 coming up. 6 seconds on the clock in the second quarter. Halftime looming as the Predators are going to go trips to the near side of the field, and they swing Jamaica Marcus out. McKinney just going to sling this to the end zone, and oh, he caught it! Oh, wow!
Oh, yeah.
Great play design there, and that is a touchdown. Gary Fuller able to bring it in, so the Predators have a little something to hang their hat on. Whether or not it was a fluke or a sign of something to come, I guess we'll have to wait a couple of minutes and see when the third quarter gets underway. But until then, the Predators finally able to break the shutout on that was a really cleverly designed play. Get everybody on the right-hand side at the start of the play, swing McKinney out to the left, get the defense looking in that direction, and then just let Fuller find a soft spot all alone on the other side of the field. That was a very, very clever little gadget play there from Coach Sean Wood. And it looks like the Predators are going to go for two following that touchdown. Current score is 30-6, trying to make it 30-8. And McKinney back to throw, rolls to his right, pump fakes, and streaks into the end zone. So the Predators able to notch the 2-point conversion there. And do we have a flag? It looked like the referee, I don't see any flags, but he made some kind of signal I've never seen before, crossed his hands or something. And no, they're just going to call it. So we'll see what the Predators have drawn up. They've got their work cut out for them, but maybe able to build some momentum after that last play. We will see. Mississippi, though, on top, 30-0 heading into halftime. We'll be back in probably 15 minutes, maybe 10. We'll see. All right, and it looks like both teams are getting set for the start of the second half. The Predators looking to build on a little bit of that momentum they secured on the final play of the second quarter through about a 20-yard touchdown pass from Ricky McKinney to new receiver Gary Fuller in the right corner of the end zone on the right side of the field. Really been one of the lone high points for the Predators in what was a rough and tumble first half in which the Mississippi Raiders absolutely dominated the line of scrimmage and jumped out to an early 30-8 lead. They've led by as much as 30-0, and in fact led by 30-0 up until really the last play of the game, or the most recent play of the game, I should say. But we are back, and we'll see what the Predators dialed up in the locker room. I saw on film last week that Mississippi made some very well nuanced second half adjustments against San Antonio, and even though they did end up losing that game, the changing of schemes was something I found quite admirable. So we'll see if the Predators can match that, and don't know if that was intentional or not, but probably not the start they envisioned to the second half. Kickoff from Daniel Sheriffs goes well out of bounds, and they're going to spot that one either at the 20 or wherever it first went over the wall. And it looks like they're going to spot that at the 23. So first down and 10 coming up for the Raiders. Won the opening coin toss and deferred. And oh, they spot this all the way at the Carolina 24. So the Predators already in a rough situation. Mississippi is like to start out drives with shots, especially when they're coming out of the locker room in some capacity. Would not be surprised to see if they try and take some kind of shot down the sideline. Is what they like to do on 1st and 10. And low snap from Shaw is looking deep and goes across the middle, and it's intercepted. That's Trey Hayes. Dropping back from his MAC linebacker spot and returns it out to the Mississippi 19. So just like that, it'll be a 1st and 10 for the Preds. Shaw, it looked like might have been going down the sideline there. Didn't saw what he liked, rolled out and just kind of tried to telegraph that one across the field. Did not see Hayes standing in the passing lane and throws an easy interception. Ball's going to be spotted at the 18. 1st down and 10 for the Predators in Mississippi territory, but with a rickety offensive line. We'll see what they did during halftime to try and shore that up. Linemen from left to right, Ellis Smith, Grant Dooley, and that looks like Carlos Emerson in at tight end. And the line breaks down. McKinney gets rid of that, and a nice swat there by the defensive back, trying to get a number. It looks like that is 32. That's going to be, there's no 32. Oh, yep, that's Corey Tucker. 2nd down and 10 coming up for the Predators. Not a bad play there, just a pretty dramatic swat by Tucker to put a stop to that pass. And to Corey Burkett going to head back to the sideline for the Preds. Looks like he's being replaced by Mike Lee, so the Preds back to their original receiver rotation of Kevin McLaurin, Mike Lee Sr., and Brandon Ford. And the line breaks down again, and McKinney gets sacked for the umpteenth time. 3rd and I think they're going to call this 17 coming up, and looks like McKinney might have fallen forward there at the end, but I just don't know what you're supposed to do when that happens. I mean, that was an all-out jailbreak. Every single lineman got beat on that play. I mean, you could have Usain Bolt back there, and I don't think he'd be able to get out of that. There is just, I don't know what you can do in your offensive line to shut down on you like this. I mean, tight end screens are about the only thing that I can think of, but I don't even know if they've got time for that. And the Preds spending an awful lot of time in the huddle. Again, might be closing in on a delay of game penalty, though. I haven't seen a play clock here, so I can only assume they're keeping it on the field. 3rd down and 16 coming up for the Preds, and it does look like they are going to get this snap off. Brandon Ford in motion. McKinney under the rest, takes a step back, looks downfield, and probably lucky that wasn't intercepted. Intended for Brandon Ford in the back left corner of the end zone. It will bring up 4th down and 16. Preds staring down yet another 4 and out. So Corey Burkett going to re-enter the game alongside, looks like Gary Fuller is at least getting ready to come in. And yep, he's headed out there now. So he'll replace Mike Lee, and Burkett's going to replace Brandon Ford, it looks like. Or nope, check that, Jamaica Marcus actually heading off the field, so I assume we've got a new running back in. Can't quite tell who yet. Okay, this is interesting. I guess they're going to swing Fuller out for a pass because they've got him in at running back. Might be trying to get a wheel or something going. And yep, they do swing Fuller out, and they were looking that way. McKinney, hanging on by his shirt, just slings it up there and out of bounds. Couldn't even get the arm punt off. So not bad play design, but maybe just a little bit too obvious with it. Jamaica Marcus has the wheels to be able to run that route. But when they sub a receiver in at running back, I think that kind of telegraphed what they were doing. So I'll give them points for trying, but just not able to execute on that one. But good job by McKinney to keep the play alive there. 1st down and 10 coming up for the Raiders. Took them 4 plays to get the ball back after that interception thrown by Tylan Shaw. And doesn't look like we're going to get any motion here. All 3 receivers look pretty set in the formation. And I think they were trying to draw him offside. So are they going to try and motion him now? Yep. It's going to be Dontrell Sanford taking off, getting a lot of cushion, and a bad snap over the head of Shaw, and picks it up and flings it out of bounds. Got hit, and I think that's going to be roughing the passer. And now we got a fight. Couldn't see which one of them delivered the hit, but just a little late there again. I mean, I don't know, they might have been able to make a case for intentional grounding after that. Maybe not, but you got to keep your head screwed on those plays. The last thing Mississippi needs is more momentum. And it looks like they're going to get it. The referees are going to take a moment to sort that one out. So this could be the 3rd time that Coach Bird is going to give them a piece of his mind. We'll see. He's looks kind of surprised right now. And not a lot we can do other than wait for this one. Shaw is okay. He did get injured on a somewhat similar play in the San Antonio game. It looks like he's all right. And we're still trying to figure out what happened. Here's the official. No, I mean, as hard as that hit was, it's probably roughing the passer. I don't know that Mississippi's had a penalty go against them the whole game. Still waiting on a signal. This is taking quite a while. I guess they're maybe discussing whether or not it was grounding. I mean, he was way behind the line of scrimmage, and he was just totally getting rid of that. But I mean, I guess technically he was outside of the pocket. It certainly didn't make it back to the line. Or I don't know, maybe they're trying to figure out if he was out of the end zone when he threw it, because, you know, intentional grounding from the end zone gets called as a safety, and that'd be 2 points for the Preds, and they get the ball back. But I've got no idea. We'll see what they decided on. And they call it a safety, so intentional grounding against the Raiders. Yep, there's the confirmation. So make it 30-10 in favor of the Preds, and they will get the ball back off of the safety kick with 10 minutes and 2 seconds to go in the third quarter. And at this point, you really got to wonder what the Predators can do differently on offense. I mean, again, with the way that offensive line has been playing, I would imagine a tight end screen or maybe some kind of fullback slip like you see on third and longs in the NFL. But those are my only guesses. I mean, there's just, with an offensive line that is getting beat as badly as it is, especially this deep into the game and facing this big of a deficit, I don't know that there's a lot you can do. Tight end screens will loosen them up a little bit, but again, I mean, if you get sacked on one of those, I mean, you got to get away on a tight end screen fast anyway, because you're sending one of your linemen out to the receivers. You're only going to have 3 guys to block them anyway. They're going to send 4. But I mean, especially given how poorly the line is held up, I mean, if they try a tight end screen and it doesn't work, there's no way they'll try it again. Because, you know, if the line's struggling already, why would you put them in a situation where they're going to even have an even harder time blocking? And the kick returned out to around the 17 by Corey Burkett. I think Mississippi thought he was down at the 10, but he got pushed against the wall to not get pushed into the wall. You are not out of bounds if you run into the wall of your own volition, or if somebody shoves you and then you run into the wall. It's only if you are contacted into the wall or you go over on your own volition that you're out. So this ball, by rule, should come out of the 17. We'll see if Mississippi gets their way here. And yeah, I think they're going to bring this back to the 10. No, maybe. I really don't know. Nobody's got any clue. And now they're going to bring it back to the 10. So I guess they're saying that Burkett, like, they might have had a hand on him when he touched the wall. I'm not sure. I'd have to go back and check the replay. It looked to me like he got pushed into it, bounced off when nobody was touching him, and then took it upfield a little further. Oh, okay, yeah, we might. I never saw a flag thrown, but we might have had like a hold or something. Might have had a hold or something, or it could be like a personal foul after the safety. Oh, that's probably what it is. A personal foul after the safety when they started a fight, so it's 15 yards from the spot of the ball. But because they, but I think they'll do half the distance for goal. Yeah, we did see a fight kind of get started up after that safety between one of the Predators' defensive linemen and one of the Raiders in the end zone. And yeah, so they're going to say Burkett returned it out to around the 17 and then do probably half the distance or a 10-yard penalty from there. So after all that, the ball is on the 5.5. Burkett in motion. They're going to try. Are you kidding me? One of these days we'll get a playoff. McLaurin really wasn't going anywhere anyway. He's not going to get a ton done on that one. Might have been a gain of 3 or so, but again, I don't know what the whistle's for because I didn't see any flags get thrown. And now they wave it off. So we lost about 15 seconds of about a minute of real time. I can think of many ways that are more entertaining. You just spend 1 minute and then waiting on a signal that doesn't actually come, but here we go again. Fingers crossed that they get the snap off this time. First down and 10 from the 5.5-yard line. Carolina trailing 30-10 with 9 minutes and 10 seconds to go in the game, or in the third quarter, excuse me. And McKinney just going to juke one of those linebackers and gains about 5 yards on the quarterback sweep. Didn't really get a full head of steam on that one, but didn't really have room to. And indeed, it will be a short game. Gain of 5, second down and 5 coming up. Oh my goodness. And now they realize that the clock shouldn't have run during that play that got blown off under mysterious circumstances, so I don't know if they're going to try to put the 15 seconds they lost back on, or I don't know, somebody might have called a timeout. This is just kind of quickly devolving into one of those games. So we'll be back in a moment, I guess, when we get all this sorted out. 2nd and 5 for the Preds when we return. And hopefully we got all that sorted out. Maybe, somewhat. I guess we'll find out. 2nd, and actually looks closer to 2nd and 7 now. Trips to McKinney's left, and they're going to hand us off up the middle with Marcus, and he's able to gain about 4 yards. We're going to spot him a yard short of the sticks, so make it 3rd down and 1 for the Preds. Closing in on the 8-minute mark of the 3rd quarter, 3rd and 1 coming up. And here's the snap, sticking with Trips to the left, and McKinney takes this one, got the 1st down, and slides on the turf by mistake, not intentionally, mind you. This is definitely not the smoothest playing surface we've ever seen. We were out on the field during warm-ups. It is a lot like running in your backyard. It really is, because this is a rodeo arena at heart. They've got a dirt floor, and you can't really see it now. You kind of can right under the walls, but it's not very apparent. But that is hard clay down there. It does not give, and it is not that smooth. On the field, the terrain is rough. It really is like running in your backyard, and they've got turf laid down on top of it, but it's a very thin layer of turf. It is definitely a lot like running just in normal grass without cleats on. So certainly not surprised that McKinney fell over on that one. Halfway through the 3rd quarter, and now the Preds staring down a delay of game penalty, and now they've called a timeout. They were really about to get called for one there. You kind of feel the clock ticking, even though they're not keeping it on the scoreboard. And it's interesting to see that that's been an issue, given that it didn't affect them during the Tampa Bay game. They were pretty cleanly able to get plays in and out from the sideline. I didn't see any major delay game penalties. Might have had 1 or 2, but that was about it. Though, I mean, I'm wearing my headphones right now. It is very loud in here. There was an AC unit going on the whole time. It's been hard to hear just about anyone, and I don't think they've been turning this music off between snaps either, so I would not at all be surprised if that is affecting the communication from Coach Wood to McKinney, and then from McKinney to the huddle. And I still don't know that they've got it figured out. We are closing in on what might be the longest 3rd quarter in arena football history. We're barely even halfway through it. I'm with you. I've got no idea what's happening. I mean, I'm all for football games lasting longer and all, but this is not what I meant by that. So are we good to go? Still waiting. And waiting. And waiting. I can say for certain that we'll get a snap in sometime. And there's the whistle. Fingers crossed that we got a playoff now. That clock has continued to roll, closing in on 7 minutes to go now in the third. And McKinney drops back, going over the middle of the field and almost intercepted. That one intended for Burkett. It looked like it might have gone a little behind him, batted it up in the air by mistake, and the Raiders were almost able to pick that one off. I am officially seeing ghosts. I thought I saw one of the refs throw a flag out there. He didn't, but I thought I saw it. So I am in Sam Darnold territory now. 2nd down and 10 coming up for the Preds. Still facing that 20-point deficit. And here we go. McKinney just hands this one off to Marcus, and he's going nowhere. Found a nice opening in the offensive line, but the Raiders linebacking core are able to stop that one in a hurry. Might have gained half a yard. I think they're going to stop this at 3rd and 10. And for the record, I've got no idea who's yelling down there. I think it's one of the players, but I can't tell you who. All right, so 3rd down and 10. The Preds have done a good job of mixing up the run and the pass on this drive, though it looks like Marcus is in full pass protection mode this time around. McKinney in a much shorter shotgun this time around. Oh, and kind of bobbled the snap, now sets up looking deep, and that one tipped and caught by Brandon Ford for the touchdown. In the right place at the right time. It was the 2nd week in a row that the Preds have caught a tipped ball for a touchdown. One way or another, whatever works, I suppose. And they can score 30-16 now. Still in favor of the Raiders, but the Preds catching another break there. Two-point conversion pending, or at least the attempt for it. We'll see how it turns out. Here we go. Trips to the left. McKinney fakes to Marcus and now just has to get rid of that one. Got flags down. So we'll see which way this goes. Came out after the play had begun. So they're talking to the Mississippi coach, so I guess this is on the Preds, which means it'll probably be declined, and we'll go ahead and kick it off. I stand corrected. Are they going to get a 2nd attempt at it? It would be quite helpful if the officials transmitted these calls to the crowd as well as the Mississippi bench, though Mississippi has called timeout. And I guess we'll be back in a moment. Let me get this sorted out. I'm going to run and grab something to drink. We'll return soon. Well, it doesn't look like I missed too much. The 2-point conversion attempt is no good, though somehow we are already down to 3:53. I think they ran the clock during both 2-point conversion attempts and then didn't reset it. And a nice squib kick there from Sheriff, certainly better than his last one. And number 22, that's Enrique Crumbs, able to chop the return man down, around the 19-yard line of the Raiders. It'll be 1st and 10 from there. Fingers crossed that we can get this ball snapped in less than 2 minutes. The referees appear to be having some discussion, though they're breaking away. Got the whistle. Are we good? I think we might be good. We shall see. 1st and 10 for the Raiders, ball on the 20.
Come on, defense. Come on, defense. Come on, defense.
Pretty base defensive look from the Predators, and Shaw has all day to throw. They got a man wide open down the sideline. Just a total bust in coverage. I think they might have gotten caught playing cover one zone or something. I don't know what happened. Oh my God, cover 2, are you kidding me? Oh man, they earned that one. They just had the right play called against the right coverage. That was, oh man, cover 2. I am not a fan of cover 2. They did a really good job. I mean, that is how you beat any kind of zone coverage. You flood the zones. You get everybody on one side of the field, and then you start splitting them off. And that is exactly what Mississippi did there. Excellent play design against the right coverage. I mean, there's not a lot you can do to stop a touchdown like that. PAT is good. So your new score is 37-16. That touchdown from the Preds effectively wiped off the board. 2:30 to go in the 3rd quarter. So just about set for kickoff here. Tristan Reynolds going to have another chance to notch an uno. Current score is 37-16. If he gets it through the uprights here, it goes to 38-16. He's done it once, though if he misses, the ball will come out to the 20. And that one is too high. Oh, it actually, man, what a kick. Man, he might have been a couple of inches away from hitting the ceiling on that one. That was impressive. So make it a 22-point lead for the Raiders, 38-16 with 17 and a half minutes to go overall. 2:30 in the 3rd, and we still got all the 4th after that. Ball is spotted on the 5 after a successful uno attempt. Jamaica Marcus in at running back. He is in pass protection mode. Gary Fuller, Mike Lee, and Takori Burkett, the receivers for the Predators. Here's the snap. Burkett in motion. McKinney under duress, rolls to his right, and takes off, and with a nice sprint for a gain of 5 or so. And we'll see where exactly they spot this. I think that's going to go down as a gain of 6 for McKinney, so that'll bring up, excuse me, second down and we'll call it 2nd and 5 for the Preds. Exact same formation. Mississippi playing pretty tight here. McKinney just slings that one, slant intended for Mike Lee. Had 2 defensive backs draped all over him, or a DB and a linebacker. The flags came out as soon as that play was begun. As soon as the ball was snapped. 3rd down coming up, but we'll check the flag. Got to be some kind of illegal formation if they threw that right at the snap. 1:34 to go in the 3rd. Once they get this sorted out, or okay, I think they just picked it up. I didn't see him wave it off, but there is no flag. 3rd and 5. Wait, what? Okay, are they moving it? Are they not moving it? Okay, I guess there was no penalty, even though they tried to move the line of scrimmage. 3rd and 5 for the Preds. Burkett back in motion. McKinney to throw. Line breaks down. He took too long on that one and just throws this one out of bounds. Cleared the line of scrimmage. And I don't think that was intentional grounding. I mean, I thought it got past the line. It was close. Looked to me like it made it. Looking at the replay now. Oh, that's it. That's anyone's call. It looked like it was on top of the down and distance marker as it went over the wall. So they are going to call that a safety off of intentional grounding. Make it 40-16 in favor of the Raiders. 70 seconds to go in the 3rd. They'll be getting the ball back here in just a few moments. But yeah, that was about as close as you can get, but I do think the officials made the right call there. The ball was, at least on the replay, because the stream is actually about 30 seconds behind when it gets to your TV screen or whatever device you may be watching it on. So what you're seeing is actually 30 seconds in the past for us. So I can go back and watch the replay a little bit, and it helps sometimes. And it looked like there the ball was like right on top of the down and distance marker, so right on top of the 3rd down line as it was going over the wall. So you really could have called that either way, but I think it was definitely closer to being in front of that line. So does not clear the line of scrimmage, goes down as intentional grounding. McKinney was in the end zone, so that will be a safety. 1 for each side now. 40-16 in favor of the Raiders. Kickoff coming from Daniel Sheriffs in just a few seconds. And another low kick, and it hops out of bounds. That's going to come out to the 20. Sheriffs was close, but not close enough. Yep, ball's going to be spotted on the 20-yard line. 1st down and 10 for the Mississippi offense, which, man, it feels like we have not seen in a really long time. Taylon Shaw been having a reasonably solid game. I think 3 touchdowns and an interception, something like that, though I'd already say he's only been on the field for about 10 minutes of the 45 minutes we've played so far. The Predators have once again dominated in time possession, albeit unintentionally. The opposition is just scoring that fast, and yeah, I don't think that's how that rule works, but they're going to spot it at the 7 now. As far as my knowledge goes, any kickoff that does not clear the line of scrimmage and then goes out, or does not clear the back end zone and goes over the wall is a touchback that goes out to the 20. But they changed their minds and got a quick out to one of their receivers. This is Jerronnie Hilton, and Hilton making some men miss, and that's going to be a touchdown. Yeah, that tackling was, I don't want to make any judgments, but at least on the replay, it did not look like there was much effort put behind any of those. 46-16, the Raiders have got their lead back out to 30 and can get their biggest lead of the game here late in the third with a successful PAT. Though the clock is running, again, after the touchdown, you don't run it during a point after attempt. Kick is up and good, so making a 31-point lead for the Raiders. Time expires. Nope, not expired. 2 seconds to go in the third. Raiders up by 31. This one all but decided unless the Predators have the comeback to end all comebacks up their sleeves here. But I mean, that play should not have been a touchdown. The coverage was weird. It was like a shift cover 2 at the very end. Probably just not a good call, especially after you already got scored on against cover 2. I don't really know why you'd go back to it, but they did, and credit to Mississippi for finding the soft spot. You know, against cover 2 looks like that, you want to throw to the side of the field where the flat corner isn't hanging out because the only other guy is going to be 10 yards downfield. So definitely a great read by that, and I mean, at that point as a defense, you got to know, okay, dude's got a hitch, we got to make a tackle. And I mean, they were in position to make a tackle. C.J. Thomas and Donald Jones both, I mean, just did not wrap up. Did not look like they were trying. So the writing perhaps on the wall. And here's the kick from Reynolds. This one is up, but not going to make it to the uprights. And that ball is actually loose. That's going to be a 1-point safety. That's a quirk in the AAL rule, yeah. So make it 48-16. If a return man gets it in the end zone and then cannot come back out of the end zone by the time he's tackled, that is a point for the offense, or a point for the kicking team, though. Should only be 1 point unless they say that he had the ball outside of the end zone and then went back in, because the scoreboard is counting as a 2-point safety. But that should only be a 1-point safety. And they're going to have a talk with it, or a talk about it. I mean, as far as my knowledge goes, the Preds did get called for that in Cape Fear, I think, a couple of years ago. And it went down as a 1-point safety. I'll have to double check. It could be a 1-point safety. I do know the Deuce is in the NAL. That should be a 1-pointer, but oh no, it looks like they're going to count it as a, okay, and now they roll the clock, so the third quarter's over. Okay. They had the courtesy to wait until the offense was set to bring it into the third. Yeah, so I'll keep it at 48-16 for now, but it looks like they're going to go with 49-16, even though, as far as my knowledge goes, that's not correct. But we'll see if they change it. Mississippi is already celebrating. That was the end of the third, not the fourth. Oh, well, excuse me, according to the scoreboard, we're actually in the fifth quarter now. So, don't hold me to anything. This is quarter number 5, according to the scoreboard here. right, so it looks like they are going to go roll with 49-16. Oh, and they're already starting. Okay, here's the pass, almost intercepted. McLaurin just unable to hang on to that one. So just like that, it is 2nd down and 10 for the Predators. Alrighty, so sticking with that same receiver grouping that started out the game, it looks like. McKinney just takes off, has to bite it. Line broke down on him, and he's able to run forward for a gain of maybe 2. He was way back in the pocket when he first took off. Let's see where exactly they spot him. Maybe a gain of 5? Not quite sure. And they're going to call this 3rd and 6 for the Preds. McKinney under some heat, looking over the middle, and cannot find Fuller just outside the hash marks. Yeah, just good coverage there from Sanders. Really, just weren't many places for McKinney to go with that one. Not a bad throw either. Just another nice breakup for BG Sanders, who really had a rough go of it against San Antonio. He has looked much, much better today. Oh my goodness. Would you look at the scoreboard now? It says 47-16. Mathematics, everyone. McKinney just slings this one downfield and over the heads of everybody. 12.5 minutes to go, and yep, the Preds turn it over yet again. 1st down and goal coming up for Mississippi. But yeah, they've set the scoreboard back to 47. After all that drama about 1-point safety, 2-point safety, how about a 0-point safety? Even though I know there is some rule in the rule book that says the kicking team gets 1 or 2 points if the return man can't get it out of the end zone before he's tackled. I don't remember if it's 1 or 2, but I know it's one of those. I know it's at least 1. They should have gave him 0. I don't even know anymore. We got a long drive back. It's best not to worry about the little things. 1st and goal from the 10-yard line for the Raiders. 12.5 minutes to go before triple zeros. Shaw with all day to throw. Going for the back of the end zone. Wow, what a catch. There ain't much you can do to stop that. Man, Mississippi just wanted this one more. That play, the last drive, this entire game, they just wanted to win more than the Predators did. That's all it boils down to. 53-16, a new score. That was Shaw's 5th touchdown of the game. And that one is blocked. It's going to be up for grabs. And Mississippi's able to fall on it, so no points will come from the block kick. So keep it at 53-16. Clock is at 11:39. about a third of the way through the fourth quarter. Now, just a heads up for the Predators moving forward, as the schedule stands now, their next game is going to be against the West Michigan Ironmen on Friday, April 23rd. Now, unless there is some major change with that one, we are not going to be able to stream that one. The week of my exams is the first week of May, so my assignments are really going to be pouring on during the week of the 23rd. And it's either a 13-hour flight or a 13-hour drive or a really expensive flight up to West Michigan. So, in all likelihood, that game will not be streamed again unless something crazy happens or it gets rescheduled against a smaller team, more local. We might be able to do it that way, but as it stands now, no stream for the West Michigan game. The next confirmed stream will probably be May 1st against the Charlotte Thunder. That is a pretty easy game for us to get to, only about an hour and a half out of town over at Bojangles Coliseum. Saturday, May 1st, probably going to be the next stream for the Preds. In the meantime, Mississippi getting ready to send this one deep. I'm trying to get an update on the Tornadoes Thunder game right now, but the signal again in here is very, very slow when it works at all. Here's the kick from Reynolds, and he might have another Uno. That was close and too far to the right. So it's going to stay at 53-16, bring the ball out to the 20-yard line, and the Preds will take over from there. Alright, so it does look like the Thunder won. I don't know what the score was, but they had a post on Facebook saying that they're 3-0 now, and they were 2-0 going in, so I don't know what the margin was, but it does look like the Charlotte Thunder have beaten the Tampa Bay Tornadoes, which gives the Tornadoes their first loss of the season. Tampa was 2-1 entering that game with wins over the Preds and the Georgia Lions. And now we got reverse motion from Gary Fuller. They're going to swing it out to him, and I don't know. There's a chance he might have been lining up for a pass there. I'm not sure. And now we got some jawing. So we're going to wait on the spot. I think that's going to go down as a loss of 7. And I tell you, I think Coach Bird is just kind of finding things to be mad at. Now he's got himself a penalty, so move it back even more. He's going to get himself kicked out. Yeah, and now he's gone. back in a bit. Coach Bird is going to finish this game in his car, I guess. They're having a chat with the Mississippi sideline right now. Not sure what that's about, but we'll take a break until they get this sorted out. All right, so we're back. 2nd down and 25 for the Preds after all those penalties. Coach Wood will finish out the game, I guess, calling both the offense and the defense, unless Sean Sanders calls the plays from the field on the defensive side of the ball. McKinney back to pass, still looking deep, even though the offensive line is in shambles. I don't even know what they're thinking anymore. That play call just baffles me. I mean, you're on your own 5-yard line. It's 2nd down and 25. You have an offensive line that has been inconsistent at best, and you run 2 guys deep and have your slot receiver run a deep cross. I don't understand the logic. I just don't get it. So the Raiders looking to make it a 60-point, or not a 60-point lead. It feels like a 60-point lead, but this will get them to 60 if Reynolds is able to make this kick. And got flags, because why not? Drag this game out a little longer. It's already, 11:30 p.m. body clock. 10:30 Central Time right now. It's 11:30 for most of you guys watching at home. Oh, yeah. Our computers didn't change. Our phones were the only clocks that actually changed when we crossed over from Alabama. Here's the kick, up and good. 60 points for the Raiders. .34 to go in the game. Raiders up big, and the only competition now regards how much they can extend their lead. I don't know. With the way the Preds have been turning it over, they certainly have time to get to 70. They've got nothing to lose at this point. Neither side does. kick is up low and dropped by the return man. That was to Corey Burkett. Goes out of the back of the end zone, so that will come out to the 5, or it should. All right, so they spotted it on the 5 now. I'm putting the over-under at the conference on this at 30 seconds. I do not expect we will come to a conclusion quickly. So as it stands now, the Predators have a 1st and 10 on their own 5-yard line. So it does stay on the 5, 1st and 10 for the Preds with 8:12 and counting to go in the game. McKinney back to pass. Actually has a pretty clean pocket, and man, Fuller was just totally not looking for the ball. An inexcusable near interception there. The Preds lucky to get away without another turnover. 2nd down and 10 coming up. Second and 10, and Ricky McKinney under some serious heat and makes it back to the line of scrimmage, but pays the price. 3rd down and 10 coming up. I apologize for the lack of commentary, but I mean, I really just don't know what else there is to say at this point. This is a problem we always seem to come across late in these games. I mean, when you get down by deficits this big, there's just not a lot to discuss. 6 minutes and 40 seconds to go in this one. Everybody kind of, or at least I know I'm starting to think about the drive back. That is going to take a while. And McLaurin drops it yet again. That will bring up 4th down and 10. Probably going to see an arm punt, or at least an attempt at one coming here. As tempting as it may be, the Raiders need to keep in mind that an interception here is not optimal. If it falls into their lap, bat it down, and they'll get the ball at the 5. In all likelihood, I would imagine that McKinney will try to throw a pick here. Probably going to be a pass right down the sideline, as far down the field as he can get it. And the hope is that one of them picks it off instead of batting it down, and Mississippi takes over on their own 5 instead of the Preds 5. We'll see. They may try something like a 444 something, run some curls. I don't know. McKinney just going down the sideline and nobody home. Looked like another wheel there. Jamaica Marcus, the intended receiver, but he kind of got turned around somehow. And just like that, right back to another Raiders possession. 1st down and goal from the 5-yard line. 5 minutes and 15 seconds to go in the game. Shaw in the pistol. Takes the snap at the 10 and then hands it off to one of his receivers, who takes it upfield for a gain of 4. That'll bring up 2nd down and goal from around the 1. And they actually spot that one at the 2. 4.5 minutes to go.
Gain of 3, 2nd and goal to go for the 2-yard line.
Shaw with all day to throw, really drifting back and almost had number 1 in the back of the end zone. Jerani Hilton would have had to make an acrobatic catch and could not come down with it. That will bring up 3rd down and goal for the Raiders. Trips to the near side on the right college hash. Interesting look. They might run a sweep in that direction. Nope. Oh, it was a tight end streak and he caught it. Clock continues to roll, under 3 minutes to go in this one. A perhaps merciful end looming. Raiders up by 50. They're going to make it 51 with a successful PAT here. Oh yeah, you're right. They are going for a drop kick. That'll be worth 2 points if they make it. Pretty rare, but I mean at this point, again, nothing to lose if they don't make it. Just kind of goofing around now, and I was close. He got it. 2 points for the Raiders. So that'll make it 68-16. 1:51 to go. Kick is up and, man, make it 69. Oh no, they say it went off to the right. It looked from here like he made it. And I guess they say he missed it. That was awfully close. So make it 68-16 with 111 seconds to go. Preds ready to take the field for perhaps the final time, perhaps not. We shall see. Ball's going to be spotted at the 20, so he did indeed miss it. They actually ran the clock while the Preds were getting set. Old school arena rules, really. Under 90 seconds now. Sean Sanders in the game as a receiver. McKinney drops back, only a three-man rush. Has time to throw, looking deep, and caught. I tell you, the Preds have a knack for scoring at odd times. Make it 68-22. That should have been the 1 minute warning. Clock's still rolling. I guess they're not going to go for it. And now they stop it with 53 seconds. I don't know if they'll put that time back on. Touchdown reception by Gary Fuller. His second of the game. Really the lone bright spot for the Predators in what has been an absolute massacre. And McKinney trying for a two-point conversion. Looks like he's got it. Make it 68-24. Expect an onside from the Preds. Not really enough time to get anything done, but playing for pride at this point, I suppose. Kickoff looming. 68-24, the new score. (68-24) with 51 seconds left. We're inside the 1 minute warning, so expect an onside kick here. Though Mississippi doesn't look to be planning for it. They've only got 4 guys at the 10. And Sheriff is backing up pretty far, and he just kicks it deep. All right. Fielded in the end zone by the Raiders. They're out to the 15, still loose. And out past the 25 and down to the 16 or so. 42 seconds on the clock now. Now, I don't remember, I think there was some kind of mercy rule built into this, but I don't think that Mississippi can take a knee inside the 1 minute warning. Again, there might be some mercy rule, but at least per standard arena rules, even if you're up this big, you cannot lose yardage as the leading team inside the 1 minute warning, or else the clock will stop. But we will see. I mean, wouldn't be surprised either if the Raiders really try to go for 70 here. 25 seconds on the clock. Pitch out to St. Julian, and he makes it all the way down to the 6 or so, maybe the 5. Kyle got pushed, though. Mississippi in no hurry to stop the clock. And I think they're just going to let it run down, maybe 7, 6. And they're watching it go. Are they going to call it? No, an injury timeout. We've got a Predator down on the field. When he's back up. So it looks like the Raiders are going to run. Nope, they're going to rule the clock. So, yep, that's it. So, well, that's going to do it for us. Again, more than likely not going to be able to stream the West Michigan game against the Ironmen in 2 weeks. So, more than likely the next stream for the Preds is going to be against the Charlotte Thunder on May 1st. Until then, see you next time.